be there. Ronaldo. I'm sure that he was saving for there, but he didn't pull it off. Finally.
That blessing to rest and to settle. Give it.
Today's ball.
Hello, is anybody hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Upon, we're hearing.
Yes, we can hear
hearing
you.
me. I think you should unmute your mic, Chair. Nobody's hearing me. Yeah.
It's not muted now. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Can
we
you hear
can
me
hear
now?
you.
They are hearing you from my phone call. They are not hearing you from the call.
We can hear you, Joseph. Please go ahead. Dr. Joseph. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I'm just telling the facilitator to start. We can hear them.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Joe, are you there? Dr. Joe. Who is coordinating the meeting? Is it Dr. Joe or someone on his behalf?
So as it stands now, right? I think they're having communication issues. So just hold on a little bit.
Okay. I was just thinking maybe next time, why don't we focus on Zoom? Why Zoom and YouTube? I don't know. Maybe they have a good reason. I don't know.
Ahmad. Ahmad. Èmi mò ń pè ẹ́ o. Bá mi mú omi wá. Ẹ bá mi fọ kíní kó bá mi gbé fún mi. Bá mi fọ bọ̀ bá mi mú omi wá.
Which one? SP10. If you have a game of sleep. SP not be small team. You can't meet him with this now. We not fit talk for inside this meeting. Well, back I need go back.
$700.
How many ló yà ló wà lámàrà?
No, kò sọ pé àná fojú nǹkan tá a fẹ́ lọ.
Ṣé àwọn pé ṣé 3 yards máa tó? Tó bá dé pé a fẹ́ nà ọ́ lọ síbi tó gùn díẹ̀ sí.
Bí a máa 5 yards.
Èmi fò pé kára 5 yards ṣó mọ́ wáyé. Just in case bá fẹ́ lò ní nǹkan mi. Ìta bá fẹ́ lò fún nǹkan mi. Bọ̀ wo ẹnu táàpù yẹn kó tó rà o. Àbí? Tá bá tún wà rà ṣá máa ní ìdòkun tá máa fi sóòdù.
Elizabeth,
No.
please, could you mute your call while we wait for the facilitators to sort the issues they have? Please mute the call. Thank you.
don't think you're the only one. I don't think anybody else is speaking. If somebody is speaking, we definitely cannot hear. Okay, that's fine. That's
All right, so sorry, I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Welcome back.
Hey,
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can, sir.
Okay, so sorry, please. Sorry for this mix-up. So I was also kicked out of the Zoom, and then it was difficult for me to join back. All right, so on behalf of those that are joining via Zoom, let me repeat myself again. I said the essence of this meeting is not to teach us on how to write manuscripts, but to guide us on a new policy as regarding AI content in our manuscripts, because we want to submit a manuscript maybe let us say a week or 2 weeks from now, and it's also coming from our experience, the experience we had from the abstract submission. We discovered that almost 90% of most of the authors use AI to write their abstracts. And unfortunately, because we didn't inform authors about the use of AI content in writing anything that has to do with technical paper, we felt it should go, and we need to call for this meeting to advise them. And also, SP has a policy now as regards the use of AI in writing manuscripts, and some percentages, in fact, some aspects of the manuscripts, um, the particular margin of AI content may not be allowed, and that paper can outrightly be rejected. So we felt that we need to inform you so that you don't fall victims of using AI to write your manuscripts. Before now, the use of before now we do plagiarism check. The use of plagiarism softwares are not new in SPE, particularly in SP Nigerian Council. We have been using it, but now we have a second aspect of it, not just checking for similarity index, but now checking for AI content as well. So I will just share the policy with us, which will serve as a guideline. And again, for those of us that are not very familiar with it, it will be expected that if you are using any AI tool, even after the write-up, you go and use any plagiarism tool to check the similarity index and the AI content before it is being submitted. The reason is very simple. We may not have the option to come back and say, oh, because you use this, rewrite it and resubmit. From our own end, once it exceeds the percentage acceptable limit of what you can copy using AI, it will be outrightly rejected. So it would be nice we inform you first before you submit your manuscripts for review. So let me quickly check. Let me quickly share the slide. I hope you can see. You can see my slide.
Not yet, sir. Yes, we can see your slide, sir.
Now, some of us here have written papers severally, so you don't need to be told about how the content of a manuscript should look like, whether it's a review paper or research paper or a case study. I believe we are very much aware of how the content should be. That's why I said I'm not here to guide us on how to write the content, but I want to take us through the policy coming from SPR. So I'll just go straight. If anyone wants to see the other aspects of the content, I don't mind, I can share this later for those that may benefit. So let me just, so AI content and plagiarism checks. First, the Society of Petroleum Engineers allows the use of AI tools, mainly for language improvement, editing, and formatting. So it's clear we can use it for language improvement, we can use it for editing, we can also use it for formatting. However, it does not permit them to generate substantive technical content. So what it means is that under introduction, you can use AI, to frame sentences, to rewrite, edit and so on. But when it comes to methodology, when it comes to results and discussion analysis, you cannot use AI. That is what it simply means. So you must be very careful on the amount of AI content you have in these aspects or in these sections of your article. So again, the AI may be used for assistance, but not authorship. So I need to also emphasize this because some of us may just write, have a topic and then put it on ChatGPT to write something, and then it will pull out something and we just dump it outrightly to be rejected. And I also want to emphasize this based on also our experience after we informed authors of abstracts that were rejected and the ones that were accepted. And some authors called and said, oh, my work, it's a novelty, did that, and so on and so forth. Novelty is not on the title. Novelty is on the content. So if the content, does not relate to the title, then that paper can be rejected. Okay, so if the content is not rich enough to be accepted, and like I mentioned earlier when I started the discussion, that many of us here also reviewers. So when your paper is being reviewed and it doesn't have a substance rich enough to be published and is rejected, you don't need to complain. Just like you are rejecting other people's own because you are convinced. We believe that anyone that comes forward to say, I want to be a reviewer, you have a substance to review a paper. So please, let's just be careful on how we manage the content of articles we are submitting. So it's mainly AI content. AI tools should be used for assistance, not for authorship. And now the policy is very simple. Any AI use must be disclosed in the methodology. So whatever tool you use or acknowledgements with authors held responsible for accuracy. Because many things we get from the web, from the internet and so on, if you cannot, get that assurance that, this information is correct, don't put it there. You must be convinced. That's why when you get an information, it's good to check for it in different sources to ensure that what you are putting down there is what has been said by different authors, so that you don't just get yourself messed up at the end of the day. So let's look at what SPI just said. SPI policy on AI generated content in publications. So the SPA board has approved a new policy allowing AI generated content to be used within SP publication, but under specific conditions. AI language may not be listed as an author. The AI tool cannot sign publishing agreements or transfer of copyrights. That is one. Any AI generated content that is used within a manuscript should be thoroughly vetted. That was what I was trying to talk about. It should be vetted. Check for different sources of that same information and ensure that it's correct before you put it there. Fast-checked and disclosed. If AI language tools are used within a manuscript, their use should be clearly explained within the methodology or acknowledgement section of the paper. So for any reason you have to use this AI tool, it is important for you to state it at the methodology section or the acknowledgement section. You need to be open. If AI generated content is included within a man without an explanation, this can be a ground for rejection of the work at the discretion of SP and may result in a code of conduct review. So this is very serious. So we need to be very careful. If you put anything there, no explanation, it can be outrightly rejected, and then your case may be reviewed at the code of conduct, SP code of conduct. And maybe any punishment that is liable may be granted to you. Maybe possibly you may not be able to publish in SPI again, or maybe one petrol or wherever, but they are yet to come up with a firm punishment for all this. And they said before the end of 2026, all these things will be out. That's why we are trying to take this measure to inform us so that we don't fall victims. Not when we send our papers there and then they tell us, oh, this thing just came out and then we can accept these papers. The authors of the manuscript will be held responsible for any errors, inconsistencies, incorrect references, plagiarism, or misleading content included from the AI tool. Because take note, you are the one signing the copyright, so you'll be held liable for any misleading information you put down there. So based on this that I've just read out for you, so let's look at the key aspects. One thing we need to know is that we have a permitted use, and it's only permitted for enhancing English, grammar, and formatting. Nothing more than that. You cannot use AI tool to make tables. You cannot use AI tools to make plots. It is not allowed. Prohibited use. AI cannot generate the core technical, substantive, or analytical content. That's what I'm just telling you. You cannot use it to do all those things. You can't use it to plot graphs. You can't use it to make tables. You can't use it to write equations. Anything that constitutes the core technical aspect, please avoid using AI tools. Then the disclosure requirements. Use of AI tools must be clearly disclosed in the paper acknowledgement. I've said this before. I'm just trying to bring out the highlights here. And the responsibility. Authors are fully responsible for the accuracy, including checking for hallucinations, plagiarism, and errors. The detection and the team, because they've already constituted when this report will be out within this year. They said starting in 2026, SP is implementing AI detection tools similar to plagiarism checkers on all 1-page manuscripts. And our own, as it stands now, our own conference is coming up first week of August. And what that means is that before that first week, all manuscripts must have been sent to SPI. It must have been vetted and then accepted to be published in 1-page before we can go ahead to list them for the conference. So please, we need to be very careful so that we don't fall victim to some of these recommendations that will come out from this committee. So using AI for significant portions of the core argument and can lead to outright rejection. So please, let's not. So these are basically the things I want to show us. Like I mentioned earlier, every one of us know that we have been carrying out plagiarism checks before now. But these tools now also have in them embedded AI content checks. And at our end here, once we see that this content is so high, then we have to reject it. In many institutions across the world, even in Nigeria here, like I remember in my own university, AI content is 20%. Plagiarism is 20% maximum. So, but currently in SPI, plagiarism is 30%. So we felt we should not go beyond 30% so that we don't fall victims to some of these new policies that they are trying to formulate. So anyway, I can take questions now to enable us progress.
Submission date.
I see your hand, yes.
Can I speak? Oh, okay, I had my hands up.
Yes, I can see your hand.
Okay, good evening. Well done and thank you for this. I think this is really very important. So two things I want to say. The first is, from my experience of using AI detection tools, even when you use AI to update grammar, to edit, it will still be counted as AI. Now, depending on the AI detection tool you use, depending on what you use, you may be able to see where they say where it will show used for editing or used for authorship. Because what I'm saying is that you may still see someone's report which may show as 100% AI if they have used AI to edit their work. But maybe it wasn't, the content is not AI generated, and it could be something as using Grammarly, for instance. So that's something that that needs to be confirmed, because you're saying that AI use is permitted to edit, And I'm saying that that may still flag up as high AI percentage. The second bit I want to say is around the plagiarism stuff. And again, this is my experience, and I know we've exchanged emails about that. In doing plagiarism checks, because some of the work that some of us are submitting are projects that we have carried out at whether PhD, MSc, and level, and because we do our own internal running our projects through our own plagiarism software, that is then already passed through, if you like, a database for plagiarism check. And I realized that sometimes when we then submit, because it's not a published paper, this is just our own internal process, when it's then passed on to SPE, for instance, it's now being flagged up as showing plagiarism. But that is not plagiarized because it's just picking up from our submission within our system. That's one. Two, the other is where we've submitted previously to SPE. Abstract was accepted, and of course, it has gone through SPE plagiarism check. But then the full paper wasn't submitted at the time, say last year, and we've decided to resubmit this year. It's again then being flagged up as being plagiarized because the system recognized that it had been previously submitted. So I'm just saying that there should be, and there are ways that you can check this to ensure that people are not penalized wrongly, because there's, I'm not calling it a false flagging up of either plagiarism or AI use. So just the two things that where we're saying we're using AI for editing, that may still flag up almost a high percentage of AI use. And two, plagiarism, where people are resubmitting what they had previously submitted but didn't do a full paper for. I think it's a bit unfair to then say that is now being plagiarized. But that's just my two comments. Thank you.
Anyway, thank you so much, Yala. I think your comments are well noted, and what you're explaining is also well understood. But let me mention this to you as well, okay? Just like in the school here, we have students that are also doing masters, PhD, and so on. And prior to submitting their work, because they know the university will check for plagiarism, okay, they usually go and use their independent. Sometimes some centers have their own tools as well as plagiarism tools to do the check before they send to the university for the final check. And somehow, they clear them. They clear them. So it's not all the time these things are just stored in the database for them to always flag them as something that has been plagiarized. Something may be wrong somewhere. I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Okay, sorry, Professor
Yes.
Joseph, can I just comment on that? So I do that.
Sure.
Now, you can do what we call a soft check. So I do that the same. I can check my work or any student's work before it is submitted for final.
Yes.
So there's a way you can set it on the plagiarism tool to say, do not send to open database. There's a setting that allows you to be able to check your plagiarism score, but it is not within the open domain. But once we submit the work,
one thing,
open domain, it's gone.
Sorry. You see, SP Nigerian Council don't have their own plagiarism tool. Now university offers of this facility, and they have experts there that manages it. We don't really have control to say change this, change that, though we can advise. Your comments are well noted, but when they say something is plagiarized, they look at it in different forms. Even people use special character. I don't know whether you are aware of this. Where you have somebody will put an I or something like that just to confuse the system. A lot of things, but the tools have also been modified to actually catch people that are trying to cheat, So, but like you just mentioned, these comments are well noted. Maybe going forward, we may also tell them to take this into consideration before abstracts or manuscripts are rejected. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any question? Any more questions? I may not see all the hands, so in case if you raise your hand, just you can just go ahead and unmute and talk. Let me hear.
Sorry, sir. I think there are questions in the chat box.
Okay, let me check. Oh. Victory, you said you have a question, but you can't raise your hand. Can you ask the question?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, my hand is also up. Maybe I can just go ahead and ask my own question.
Yes. Is it Benga?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I go ahead?
You can go ahead, yes.
Yeah, sorry, I joined just a few minutes ago, and I joined in the middle of EBS question, or is it clarification? And I don't know. I thought this meeting, this session is for you guys to pass on some information. So I don't know what information is being passed on that you want people to ask questions about. So I wonder if you can just quickly just clarify that. Thank you.
I think this meeting is recorded. Maybe after the meeting, we can share the audio. Going back to talk about all this may be difficult. I believe that it's recorded. So after the meeting, I promise you we'll try and share the audio so that everyone that maybe joined late or missed it
Yeah.
can
Okay. You start. Okay, yes, that's fine. I kind of mixed my time. I was sorry. It's my fault. Yeah. So I thought it's same time Nigeria, and forgot that it was 7 Nigeria should be about. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry. Hopefully, when we see the recorded the recording, we can follow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes. Is it winner?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Sir. My question. I just went through the chat and I saw something that is prompting me to ask a question. And the question is, having a very little knowledge of the way artificial intelligence systems work. Let's say, for example, someone uses artificial intelligence to some extent, and to some level, you are really good at your grammatical construct, and using their database, there is a level of, even if you don't write a particular stuff with AI, to some level, based on maybe how you think and maybe how you structure your grammar, it will now flag as something like, as an imitation, something like that. Meanwhile, you really didn't originally use AI. So how do we differentiate that? Because I've seen that play out many times. I've seen it. I've had students talk about it. I've had people, researchers, both in Nigeria and abroad, talk about it. So please, how do we handle such issues? Because it's most likely going to happen. How do we handle such?
Anyway, my brother, let me say this, okay? We are not the ones that develop these tools, and the people that develop the tools have embedded a lot of things that can detect some of these things. So the tool is not perfect in itself. But again, we know how some authors are also mischievous in using some of these tools to write manuscripts. It's not new. I'm just telling you. Um, um, so we in SP here or TPC may not have um, um, the opportunity to detect all those things, because even SPI, when they want to check, I don't think that they will sit experts to be checking at each manuscript that is rejected or has AI content to say, okay, because this paper has AI, let me recheck it and ensure that it will not go through. I don't think that anybody has that time to do so, but let's try as much as possible to limit whatever we do with our AI tools. That's what I would just advise. We don't have such time to actually go through. I must be sincere to you. You don't expect me to of 900 and something abstract manuscripts that are submitted, and then eventually it comes out to be um, maybe 100 or 200 say maybe have a high AI content, and expect me to go through and then use the tool, the software to check, oh, whether I didn't check this one correctly or I checked this one correctly. It's not going to be possible. In as much as you can flag some not to be highly plagiarized and others not to be highly plagiarized. So we need to try as much as possible. Those are some of the limitations we find ourselves with. So we need to understand this and then work through it. We don't have the expertise to go in and check each of these contents in these manuscripts. We don't have such time to as well. I must be sincere with you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Yes.
So I think I'm next. Confirm you can hear me.
Somebody asked a question, Michael. Which of the AI tool is SP going to use to check for AI detection? What we are using is Turnitin. I don't know what SPI will use. Yeah. Michael, is that question answered? On the chat box again, please. My question is, can I
Yes, sir.
add
Yes, sir.
another
The question
author?
is answered.
On that question, please. My question is, can I add as Victory? Can I add another author to my manuscript even when he is not in my abstracts? Yes, at least you have the provision to add any author now while you're submitting the manuscript. Teresa, can I get your question, please?
Okay, confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so a specific question. Imagine I have a case study and I have a process flow scheme drawn with shapes, and I give AI to say, okay, make it icon so that it's better looking. Is that prohibited or that's permitted?
These are some of the things that if you have.
So I drew a process on like PowerPoint with lines,
Process
shape.
diagram.
Yes, for it's a
Yes.
case study. I agreed with lines, boxes, and labeled it. But I want icons that have like pipes, that has the separator, and I say, okay, I give it to AI. I say, this same diagram, return it, but change it to
So that
icons
is
that.
why, yes, I think that's why they are talking about the disclosure, like in the methodology side. Do you
Okay.
understand? Or acknowledgement side, there must be a disclosure.
Okay.
So to take care of that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. All right. Abasi.
All right. Good evening, sir. So I
Yes.
think probably the disclosure requirements that you just mentioned now may cover for this, but I would still love to ask. So the paper I'm working on, right? I'm supposed to get data like industry data to make the analysis before giving up predictions. But the problem I have is that the data that I'm supposed to use is not available, right? But I know from talking to people, and I'm able to I'm able to get some form of assumptions, some form of data that represents what actually happens in the process. But where there is no general repository where I can just find this data already available. So what I'm thinking of doing is, let's say, finding a way to duplicate the data enough. That's using one sample and then using AI to duplicate the data enough so that I can use it to carry out my analysis. So I want to know if that is acceptable.
Anyway, when it comes to data, we need to be very careful. So if I think it is still amounts to disclosure. I can't say outrightly no or yes. Use AI to, but I would have wished that if you can find some software that you can use to generate that data, it will be preferable to using AI. There are software that can generate depending on the kind of data you're looking for. Yes, so you can, if you can use software to generate it, it's better off than using AI. But I don't know. At this stage, this is something we are trying to delve into. So I can't give you a concrete answer on this. But I wish that anything that we can do to avoid any complication, we just avoid it.
Okay, so you want to call sleepy? Yes, he said I should guide him. But now that I'm feeling sleepy, I don't know.
All right, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Please, if you are not talking, kindly mute. Can you, Ademi? Don't know. This is something we are trying
Hello,
to.
doctor.
Yes. Gani.
Yes, good evening, doctor.
Yes.
Now why I don't even get
Yeah,
yours?
my question is the timeline for the submission of the manuscript is a little bit too short.
In my phone.
Given the fact that we were notified of the acceptance of our abstract later than when we were supposed to get notified. And given the fact that we have to run the manuscript through internal processes approval within the company. So I think the cutoff of submission for March 20 is a little bit early, and I'm pleading if the committee can extend the date a little bit for us so that we can complete the internal processes and be able to submit. Thank you.
Anyway, so I understand your concern. It's something that has been raised, and we're still thinking about it. But I think I'll I'll just tell you that we'll get back to you maybe before the deadline, because for now the deadline stands. Because if you look at when we said you will be notified whether your abstract was accepted or rejected, we exceeded that by, if not up to 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. And it's not because we really want to delay it, but because it has to do with circumstances beyond our control. And these issues, we're also looking at the deadline with SPI. I understand the bottleneck this change in the submission deadline is creating, but I think hopefully before the end of the week, I'll reach out again to all authors if there is need to extend the submission deadline, because because if only just abstracts, we can have 2 or 3 weeks extension. Then imagine what comes out of manuscript. Some authors that already have been in this business for long, can write very short piece and make something very good out of it. 7, 6 pages, you see a powerful manuscript. But new authors can write 20-something pages, 30 pages. And a reviewer must glance through it, not one, not two, at least 4, before you can say, okay, this manuscript should be accepted or rejected. So we're also working on a very tight rope, but we'll see. Hopefully before the end of the week, I'm going to meet with TPC and then have a discussion and see if there will be need to change the date or it has to remain the way it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Apologies
Doctor.
for the shift. Yes, yes.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me,
Yes,
sir?
yes.
Okay, one more thing. Something came to my mind, and I want to ask. For the one petrol papers I've been seeing, especially SPE Nigeria, the papers that has been published, the papers I've seen that have been published, I usually see that it doesn't exceed something like 12 to 15 pages, and the last papers I've worked on,
Sorry,
some of them,
those are the ones you have come across. Okay.
yes, and I
There
think
are
I saw the
millions,
policy.
thousands of papers there. I've seen papers that are 30 pages.
Okay, but
So
specifically,
so
what
you
is
are
the
talking based on the ones you have seen.
and the
Generally,
SPE policy?
generally new authors, no, if it depends on what you are writing, okay. Some papers may really require that, okay, but it depends on the content, what you are really writing. But generally, from my own observation, fresh authors, okay, usually have that problem on how to, reduce the size of their manuscript. But because writing itself is a skill. So if you are not used to writing, you are likely going to put some information that are not necessary, and then so you end up having a very bulky document. But when you are used to writing, as you continue writing, you see how you can be reducing this. So let's not talk with the because if a paper is 30 pages, you don't have the right to reject it because it's 30 pages. Okay,
But sir,
for now.
they accepted.
But then, unless we come up with a guideline, we have not come up with any guideline for that to say limit your papers to 15 pages, 10 pages, and we're not doing it now until we come up with a new guideline which has to be approved before we can do it. It's not in this kind of meeting. Like I mentioned, this is not a conventional meeting because hardly in any way have you seen um conference managers talking with authors. It never happens. They only send you mails and then you reply, and then next thing, so your paper is accepted or rejected, and that's how it goes. So, but we're trying to do this just to make sure that people are well informed before they submit their manuscript. So let's not delve into things that we don't have control over for now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Chisom.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So my
Please take
question
on.
is this, sir. I wanted to know if it is possible for us to, for example, now the first time we submitted our abstract, as at that time we actually didn't have our result. So I want to know if it is possible for us to edit our abstract. For example, those that have gotten their result already. In the case we have to add some things to the abstract or remove some things. Is it possible for we to still edit the abstract on the CMZ portal?
In fact, the essence of this meeting is for many of you to go and change or edit your abstracts. I mentioned it that many, up to 90% of people, authors, these papers that were accepted, use AI to write the abstracts. So you better go and change. But again, let us also understand, this, that when you are writing an abstract, it's believed that you have finished the work. But you have the opportunity now to answer your question swiftly. You have the opportunity to go and modify your abstract. Because the reviewer will not just read from introduction to references. He has to read from abstract. Because when you need to have a glance of the abstract to really understand the content. I don't know how you are going to review without reading the abstract, to the best of my knowledge.
Okay, we know it is
So,
so
so it is, you need to, because every good reviewer first will want to have a glance of the abstract before you read the paper. That's what's going to give you a full view of what you're about going to see. So you need to modify an abstract. If you know you need
All
to
right.
add data, you need to have result, better go and add it. Yes.
Okay. Good evening, sir. Okay. My
Yes.
question is as regards our submission. Are we supposed to edit the abstract submission, or we are to create a new, upload a new manuscript submission stuff before.
The links are there, the guidelines are there. Go to the site, you will see it on how to upload this thing. You're not supposed
Yeah,
to
because
create.
the submission is not there. I've been looking for how to
The
click on the
link
submission,
is
but it's
there.
not
The
there.
link
That's
was
why.
sent to you. The link was sent to everybody. So if you don't have the link, send a mail to TPC.
It's all right.
And you'll
Okay,
be
thank you.
they'll be yes. The link was sent to everybody on how to upload their manuscript. It's there.
I actually followed the link. Actually followed
That's
the
what I'm
link,
saying.
but
So
the
if
thing
you have a peculiar problem,
issue.
send a message to TPC who are going to handle it.
All right, sir. Okay.
Odafe.
Hello, good evening, sir, and thank you for taking our time to speak to us. I just needed a clarification. So I think someone had asked a question if they could add additional authors to their manuscript. But I remember reading the rules that were sent when the abstract was accepted that even when we're submitting the manuscript, that we're not supposed to add our names or affiliations. So I just needed clarity. Has that changed?
Hello?
Hello,
Am I
sir.
the one having a network problem or is the one? Yes.
I don't know if you heard my question, sir.
Yes, one thing is that we do blind review. Remember, once one manuscripts are accepted, the authors will be informed and they need to now make some corrections and then submit the manuscript again, adding all the necessary authors and so on and so forth. So for now, they said don't add all those things because we are doing blind review.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you
That's
very
why I
much.
told you can always add. So let's not go through this again.
All right.
Prince.
Hello, Dr. Joseph. Thank you for this insightful session. I really appreciate that. One question I want to ask, I think a bit unrelated, but it's for those papers that were rejected. I see sometimes when they reject papers, there are no feedbacks. You only get feedbacks when it's accepted. So a situation where a paper is rejected, let me say, for instance, I submit a paper and is rejected outrightly. Is there a way we could help give a feedback on why such papers are not accepted just to help in improvement? Because if it's outrightly rejected, it keeps the author or the authors in a limbo, kind of, and they might not know where they need improvement or whatnot. So it's just something I need clarification from you, sir, doctor. Thank you so much.
Anyway, but I know, yeah, again, you see, I think we'll see how we can do this, but for now, I think we also have some limitations based on the tool we are using. But ordinarily, if it's a journal paper, I know all the author remark will be listed and then tell you why, give you a justification why the manuscript is rejected or the abstract is rejected. Abstracts are even much easier because um, they just have a few words, but manuscript is even much more. So going forward, we'll see how we can include those comments from the authors. Okay, so from the reviewers rather, comments from the reviewers so that you have a feel of why you are abstract. I wish that you don't even talk about abstract. It should be more on the manuscript. So rejecting an abstract is abstract is just a few words. Maybe because you didn't articulate your content correctly to show the true ingredients of an abstract. But manuscript is understandable because it contains every aspect of what you have done. So by going forward, I'll see how we can manage it and then see how we can communicate authors when their manuscripts are rejected, so that they know how to improve on what they have done and why it's rejected as well. Thank you. So far, it seems there are no more question again. So let me check the. I think I have answered this one by Odafe. Yeah, somebody is asking a question. Our abstracts were accepted along with their topics. Can our abstracts topics be tweaked slightly to better align with the recent finding? Yes, you can. Because that is what they will use to judge you when the reviewer is reviewing the paper. So you can always tweak it. Regarding the guidelines, we are asked not to exceed 15 pages. It wasn't clearly stated whether this includes both abstract page and the reference page. It should include all, including reference. All of them are there. We kindly request an extension of the manuscript deadline. I've taken care of that before. Can the PowerPoint be sent to our mail also? I'll try and send it across. Can we get a copy of the past work? For those of us who are new to this, what do you mean by past work? Sorry, Alima. I don't understand what you mean by past work. Alima, are you on the call, please? Alimat. Alimat, are you on the call? I can see you. You can't talk. It's okay. So if you can't talk, then no problem. I don't understand what you mean by past work. Past publications. Please, you can check One Petro. Though there are some papers on One Petro that you can just download, very old papers, free. Recent papers you can't just download, you need to pay, or you can maybe ask an institution that have subscription to One Petro to help you download some of them, and then you can read. There are some articles in One Petro that you can download free, so you can go ahead and try as many as you can. Anyway, so I think since we don't have more questions, we've come to the end of the meeting. I believe we are going to do justice to the policy, that emerging policy that has to do with AI content in our works. Let's just abide by them so that we don't embarrass ourselves before SPI. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And God bless you all. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Yeah. All right. Take care and good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
That's what. Good night.
Yeah.
Now put the second one.
Good night, sir. Thank you very much.